let's get going with Al. Okay, Al. So,
This was at the San Miguel Festival a couple of weeks ago, and I took a picture of the guitarist that was in a band, and somebody said it might look good in black and white. So but that's the original,
mhm,
and the next is the black and white,
okay.
which is new,
Mhm.
and it does look good in black and white, I think.
Yep,
Yes,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, I think it gives it a little more design.
Mhm. Yep,
What do you think about getting some punchier blacks?
I think the hands look a little bit soft
Yeah,
compared to the colored one.
yeah, the hands, that's a good call out. The hands did go a little dark. What did you use to convert this, Lightroom or
Lightroom,
Uh-huh.
and I just choose one of their presets and didn't do much to it
Okay.
after that. So
Right.
I did darken the highlights to get the guitar itself a little bit darker.
Mhm. Up in here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Do you have Silver FX or you just not use that?
do I have what?
Silver FX Pro?
I do have it, and I just didn't use it, and I do like it. So
Okay. Yeah. So I think it probably would have done a better job, but there probably would have been some things in Lightroom you might have been able to try too. I'm just thinking that it's lost some of its guts, and some of the punch.
yeah.
Yeah. It just kind of all
Well, I might have, a different filter might have been better too.
true. Yeah. Just gonna have to monkey around and see where you get with it. But I think it looks like everything's kind of crunching to a kind of a mid-tone mud. You're losing your range there. But I like the composition a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Black and
everybody
white,
liked it last week too.
Like
For that part.
the guitar and the jacket came out really nice.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that bandana or whatever is to the left there kind of fades a little bit in the background of the black and white. It's not as noticeable as the color.
Yeah. If you can get this kind of punchiness that you're getting over here throughout the rest of it, you'd have a winner. Yeah. I mean, even the microphone's kind of going flat. Well, you probably want that to kind of go out so that the main emphasis is in this area. Cool. Well, if you want to play with it some more and resubmit it, that'd be great. If not, take it to where you want. And that's that. Let's have a look at,
The next pictures are all at that festival, and they're all portraits of people. Some of them they didn't even know. In fact, I think most of them weren't aware they were being photographed. She was, and really liked me to photograph her. But
mhm. It's always nice to have a cooperative subject.
Yeah,
yeah, she was running a booth, and I took her picture. I thought she had an interesting face.
Mhm.
There, I used Lightroom and used the select subject
Mhm.
oh,
to bring her out, and then I did the inverse and blurred the background.
Okay. So can you invert the select subject or you have to create another mask of the opposite?
You invert the select subject directly,
Oh, you can.
and then once I did that, I used the brush tool to take the stuff that was hanging up on behind her
Mhm.
out of it, so I didn't fool with it. That's pretty natural. I did nothing to it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, Sandy, Adobe improved their masking
Oh,
capabilities in
yeah. I
Lightroom
was
quite
just
a
gonna
bit.
say, I went through, playing with it over the weekend,
Yeah,
just trial by error, just to see how intuitive it was, before looking at any of those links that Al sent out. And
It's pretty darn good.
yeah, it looks pretty intuitive. I didn't realize you could invert, which is something I wanted for forever from them.
The one thing you can't do is invert a complex selection.
Oh, with the adds and subtracts.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you can invert an add, you can put add and then invert that, or you can put subtract and invert that. But you cannot take a composite mask and invert it.
Yeah, well, that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Well, the only thing that comes to my eye really quickly is just the masking edges, like here and here. And with that new add and subtract, you could easily get a brush and fix that without much trouble. So maybe you might want to play with that a little bit. I like the fact that you blurred the background because it was probably distracting to the subject. And now the subject's coming off, kind of like you have a low aperture. So I like the effect.
But you know, the select subject selected that hair,
Wow.
That's pretty.
and
That's
that's
pretty darn good.
absolutely amazing. And
Nice.
by the way, I believe they have done the select subject. They've improved it in Photoshop also.
Hmm. In the raw or in the actual program?
In the actual program.
Because yeah, I just uploaded 2022. I'll play with that and see. I noticed their content aware fill was a little better too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've made some improvements, I think, in Photoshop in conjunction with what they did in Lightroom
Mhm.
that they haven't really advertised, but I'm pretty sure it's there.
Yeah, because they probably just changed their algorithms.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotcha. Nice. Let's move on to this next one here. Unless anybody has some comments.
that one, except for cropping, I didn't really do anything to it.
Mhm.
I'm sure I did some darken highlights and stuff like that you always do,
Mhm.
but basically that's pretty much straight. But she was a cutie,
So the background fall off was
and the
optical.
background just fell off naturally.
Gotcha. Mhm. Yeah, very nice. I like the warm and cool coming here, as well as the composition.
Mhm.
The only thing, is this an arm or something up here?
That might be Mama.
Over her neck, maybe.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
chin.
yeah. I would maybe get a gradient mask and just tone that down a little bit, and then maybe a brush and tone that down, just so it stays more on her. And then maybe a separate mask for this area and this, just to
Yeah,
bring them down a little bit. But I think composition's great. What do you guys, how do you feel about this dark here? Does that bother you at all?
Oh, no, for me.
Not me.
Okay. So I was thinking maybe you could take it down to something like this, but if it doesn't bother you, so
No.
be it. Okay.
or drag it over to Luminar and get rid of it.
Yeah, you could do that too.
But I might try to take out the hairs that are behind her bottom lip there,
Oh, yeah.
make it look a little
Oh,
better.
right here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple strays here. Yep. And then, I don't know, it looks like there's just a little edge here or something. You could clone that
there
out.
is. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, well, it looks like you cropped in, so maybe you could just crop in a little more, clone it
Well, I
out.
could have cropped a hair there.
Yeah, yeah,
That might be somehow the edge of the picture too. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Anything else? Let's go to the next one.
This was a grab shot. I used the 24 to 240 lens at 240 and then cropped down from that.
Mhm.
So she was completely unaware that I took that picture. But I found it that she had an interesting face.
Oh, yeah.
And so I took it. I didn't do a whole lot with her either.
Mhm.
And there's a couple of light spots that I might have darkened, but
Mhm.
I thought about lightening her eyes, but I decided
Yeah,
not to.
that's what I was gonna say. See if there's anything in there you could get. Because I think, you always want to see their eyes a little bit. That would be helpful. I mean, it looks like there's enough separation there, between the pupil and the eye.
Yeah,
It's,
It does.
yeah. I think you could pull that out pretty easily.
but I'm not so sure I wanted to. That's why that was my decision, not that I could or couldn't.
Uh-huh.
I think I like it. It's more mysterious with the darkness.
Yeah. There's Maureen. Hi.
Hi.
Al, are you playing around with the included presets in Lightroom for portraiture now?
Not really, because portraiture is not my forte. This is probably the last set of portraits you'll ever see from me.
Come on, you're just getting going here.
I tend not to do
okay
it,
then.
but the photo ops at that festival was people. It wasn't much else,
Yeah.
and so I just decided to put what I considered my best portraits up and go with it. But I'm not a portrait photographer, so like I said, this may be the last portrait you'll ever see from me.
Well,
I like it.
let's change the category and call it street photography.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, that really is what I've done because
Exactly. So, yeah.
because the only one that knew I was taking their picture was the first one that we saw.
Right.
And so, but and even in street photography, they can know you're taking their picture. It's
Oh, you
still good
bet.
pictures.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
that's
I would-
basically what it was. But
Yeah.
but
I would not shy away from it, Al. I think you're on something there. Just keep it up. Seriously, when the moment arises, go for it.
I agree.
well, I proved maybe I have some potential. I'm not sure I'm going to develop it.
All right. Well, keep it in mind. We won't twist your arm too hard. Okay.
That's good.
This was the guy that acted as the MC. I have no idea what his name is, but boy, he was a character. He was nonstop talking.
Hmm.
My voice would have worn out in half the time it took him to talk. I was there several hours, and he spent a good share of it with that microphone and talking. I toned down the microphone itself because it was bright yellow.
Uh,
And so that just, to me, it just distracted. And then I did the select subject and darkened the background, which was pretty bright.
mhm.
Boy, if you're going to do portraits, select subject is going to be something you'll use probably about 9 times out of 10,
Oh, no doubt.
particularly with the grab shots like
Yeah.
this. With the
Yeah.
And the reflection in his glasses were just great, and I really didn't do anything to them. That's just the way they were.
I like the way the glasses are cocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was an interesting guy, and he was not shy.
Yeah. There's a couple of
But
things
again, I was far enough away and used a long enough lens that he may or may not have been aware that I was taking his picture.
Yeah,
You couldn't tell much looking through those glasses, but he wouldn't have cared.
no doubt. So what do you guys think about maybe cropping a little this top off and eliminating this dark here and maybe this blue here?
Yeah.
I think that would help out. And maybe even just this little dark here. I think that would really, really pull into him.
Maybe straightening it up just a tad, that one line behind his head.
Yeah, although I kind of like the way everything's kind of leaning and the glasses are straight, even though they're cockeyed on his face.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I kind of like that.
okay.
That almost accentuates the fact that these are so off. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else on these?
Really
Okay.
good.
Yeah, keep it up,
I
Al.
like it.
You might have found a new calling. All right, Alan, let's see what we got here.
This is just a shot of my neighbor's, a little statue in my neighbor's yard.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh.
sweet.
Just I put it into topaz and got a little impressionist feel on it there, and that's what came out. So
Nice.
yeah, I just kind of liked the way it all kind of looked.
Mhm.
I like the real dark background with the really light subject.
Yeah.
Nice contrast.
It's just I know it's all the little effects around the profiles there are from the topaz.
But yeah,
But I liked it. It's an impressionist thing, so
Mhm.
just like the way, and I like the hat, the way the hat came out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Other than that,
Very good.
I was just back and just clicking a few shots. Been too busy repairing everything. Holy smokes!
Yeah, good shot.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that works out. Now
I
you
was
can-
wondering, what about this bottom left-hand corner? Is that? I just left that in there. That's actually a part of the wall.
oh,
But,
It looks like it's part
maybe
of
she's
her
got a dress, yeah, and the
Yeah.
dress is flat up in the back. I would maybe get a little more selective on these, so it's
Get-
just
get
not
rid of that a
all-
wee bit, yeah.
It's probably just a little too much, like
Okay.
the little more random like this,
okay.
or even this, That's all I
Alright.
can think of. Nice.
But it's amazing what you can see in the backyard. Just
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, COVID proved that.
yeah.
Wow, that's
well,
amazing.
Yeah.
can't take credit for being the original for this, but I did see it somewhere, and I got up, wanted to catch the sun as it came over the mountain, and set the bulb up in a wall, and got what I was looking for. So it was a planned shot. And it's pretty
Oh,
happy with
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Very
Is-
nice.
Is the color the way it actually looked?
No, it's accentuated a bit there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you've got just a little bit of ghosting around the bottom of the bulb. A little bit of
Yeah.
white in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's from the masking.
Well,
There's no mask on this.
It can
Yeah.
happen when you push the details.
Could be.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Mhm.
This was, I lightened some of this area up in Photoshop. That's possibly what that's came up
Mhm.
from.
Yeah, that's, I
Yeah,
mean, it's just gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, I did one with a blue tint to it, and I kind of liked that as well, but this red one was more like what was coming up with the
Mhm.
sunrise. So.
Mhm. Wow. Very clever.
Nice.
So I called this one "Let There Be Light." I know, and there
Oh.
was light.
There was light.
I really like that sliver of wall you left at the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It
anchors
was.
it nicely.
It was a little bit bigger than that, and I trimmed it right down to this side, to that side.
Yeah, I like the way you've done that.
Thank you.
Yeah, just enough there.
But I also like, I mean, I love the whole thing, but
Yeah, me
the more
too.
I look at it, the features that you see on the globe itself, all the different movement in it is just amazing what came out of that. So.
Yeah.
Totally.
Got some strange looks when people were going by, and I was lying against this wall, halfway down a wall, trying to get the angle right for the sun right over the filament of the bulb. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's the Santa Rita. Santa Ritas are in the background.
Mhm. Nice.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
very good.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is just out a little walk, and you know, there's these dead branches all over the place, and I kind of liked the way this came up, and I put it into Topaz, and I did that impressionist. Was it impressionist? Can't remember which one it was, but anyway, there was a lot of detail on this bark or on this wood in any case, and it just kind of accentuated it a little bit, changed the colors a little bit.
Was there a cobweb on there?
There probably is, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would,
there is actually. I
yeah,
can
I
see
would
a little
either
bit.
accentuate that a little bit or get rid of it. Yeah, just bring it up a little more.
Okay,
Yeah, and then maybe take this down a little bit.
okay.
But nice.
So,
It looks like it's fluid.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, it's tremendous detail in these branches, or
Yeah,
mhm.
they're
I
pretty
think it's
amazing.
all cactus, isn't it? It's probably what it is.
I think they're cholla that
Yeah.
have died, and
But, yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
great abstract. They're
Yeah,
just amazing.
yeah. We had a saguaro on the corner that got hit by lightning while it was gone. I saw just a quick snap that one of the neighbors took of the poor thing laying all in pieces on the ground, but it was already gone by the time I got back, so I didn't have a chance to see the skeleton. But
I would have liked to have gotten the white part of this a little bit more in focus.
Mhm.
This is a pretty short. I had it on a small aperture, or so that the background really was blurred out, but
Mhm.
I lost some detail in that branch.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's good.
I did a couple of shots while I was out doing handheld, select focus, and I'm wondering how well they're going to stack and how easy they are going to be to line up in Photoshop. I'll get back to you once I play with them and see if it makes sense. But I know when you're not out with a tripod, it's the last thing you think about is doing that. But it might work.
Yeah, I've tried it and it works pretty well, even handheld.
Yeah, I would think it would. So yeah, if you know you can't carry it, just take an extra shot with what you want in focus that wasn't coming up, and see if you can blend them together.
Right.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, great.
There was down in Tubac yesterday, and this old, can't remember what it's called, Hudson, I think it's called.
And yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking Christine, Alan.
Well, I was going to call this the ghost car.
Yeah, this would be a Stephen King car called Christine. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a nice shot until I got into Topaz. So in Photoshop, I blacked all the background out, made it black. So it was a nice shot just with the regular car on the background. And then I took it into Topaz and I just altered a few things and got this. Yeah.
There's a real sinister look to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You may want to take these headlights and maybe make them negative and then make them glow. That might,
Make them glow. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that might be.
Ooh.
That could be fun.
I think this would print up nice, I think, on metal.
Did you get your metal print?
Oh, yes, I'm really happy with my metal print.
Oh,
Good. Where do you get them done?
At Costco.
Really? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing it well. Okay.
And actually, the first one that came back, I didn't notice it until after a few days, but it had a little defect in it, a little dent that you could only see it from a certain angle.
Right.
I phoned them up. I said, "Look, this is not quite 100%." They printed a new one out, sent it out a couple of days later. No questions asked.
that's good to know. I've had that happen with metal prints and had to have them redone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not unusual.
No, not at all. Sometimes they're dented before they print on them,
They
unfortunately.
probably are, and they don't see it.
Yeah.
So one more thing before you leave this one. So do you think I should lighten these lights up? I don't like the idea of making them glowing, but just lighten them up, do you think? Just to,
Yeah, at least, get something in them, a little more interest.
okay.
What about putting a driver behind the driver's, in the driver's seat, a head and the shoulder?
Aren't there some verticals in this grill too?
Yeah.
Maybe you could subtly bring those up. Trying to remember that. I've seen this vehicle before, but I can't remember if it had,
Yeah.
I know it
Um,
had some kind of,
That's
wherever there's
the,
verticals or horizontals in the grill.
that's the mystery behind it, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Really
It
nice.
kind of reminds me of a whale shark when I was diving. Big
No,
mouth.
I just really love the color of it. It's just an amazing color.
Yeah, yeah. It's been sun bleached pretty well.
I think it works pretty well, Alan.
Yeah, it does.
I
So
think
the next one. Oh,
Yeah.
what were you going?
Yeah, and before we go, I like the blue you're getting from the sky on the chrome
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Okay,
Woo.
bring this up a little bit. You guys can see a little better.
This is the morning after the eclipse.
Oh,
So it's just a shot. It was the the moonrise the following morning. That's what it was. So, or following evening.
Following.
And it was kind of glowing a little bit red, and I got it, and again I put it into Topaz and did this little effect on it, and kind of made it interesting. So
It did.
It looks like it was having a hangover from the eclipse party.
you notice I didn't get my thumb in the way here. Anyway, I just thought it looked kind of. I mean, a moon's a moon, right? But when you color it up a little bit and put some of these effects on it, it changes things.
yeah.
Yeah, I like what you did.
And this is clouds that are going over it, so it was pretty.
Oh, I saw that.
It's pretty low in the horizon, so it was quite easy.
Mhm.
Nice. That was good. That's
Very
me.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
thanks for bringing those in.
Thanks. Oh, I've got a question for you before you move on to somebody else. You remember it was last year sometime there were people taking photos of the owls out Marana way. Do you remember that? These little
Yeah.
owls,
Yeah,
Mhm. The burrowing owls.
burrowing owls. Do you know where that was? Because I'd like to go out and try that.
I
Pat
think
knows. Oh, you know who knows? Jim
Yeah, Jim would
Jim
know.
Murphy.
Jim Murphy, yeah.
Oh, Jim Murphy, right?
Yeah, send him.
He's the one who did,
Yeah.
You
He's
might
in
go
town,
out-
but he couldn't make it today. Yeah, you could probably text or email him.
I'll do that.
That's
I'll
exactly
do-
where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Alan, you can also maybe check with the Audubon website.
Okay.
the Tucson chapter, because they may have stuff out there. I know it's off of I-10 and Tangerine or the Marana exit.
Yeah, around Marana, yeah.
You go out to the fields, to the cotton fields.
Yeah.
Right.
Good, thank you.
Okay, Jim Bowman.
Nice.
Yes, that is nice.
I love it.
Mm.
Yeah, this was, if you move forward one, you can get the sequence here from, I had this shot
Even
was
that's
the
all.
original. And I just put a little bit of a kind of the background. I put it in just in a soft topaz, just softened it up a little bit. But then I tried another thing over in the back to the first one. And that's what you get when you blend the two.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, did you stack it while you were working on it, or did you just re-import it and work on it again after you?
Yeah, no, I just re-imported it. But it's called the Abstract and Abstract kind of module, I guess it is.
Mhm.
And so you can play around with it, and it's also well, there were just several different versions of this that there's lots you can do, but I like just the idea that you had a silhouette looking really just kind of carve those out real clearly.
Mhm.
I like it. I really like it. It kind of looks like a tapestry.
Mhm.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like a collage almost.
Uh-huh.
I like the colors. You took something that was so dull and gave it some real nice punchy color.
Yeah.
I like the original as well, Jim.
Yeah. Now, if you want to maybe take it to the next level or give yourself even more options, when you get to this point,
Uh-huh.
you can stack on a different look in the same.
Oh,
And-
and make a
And then-
layered look.
Exactly, and then layered on there, and then you can try to, kind of tweak back and forth between the two different presets and even add some of
Right.
your own. And
Yeah, that
then,
would be good.
and then to go even a step further, you can start changing the order of them. And
Right.
that does different things too. You can spend a lot of time on one image, just playing around like that.
Well, there's a third deer in there, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
behind
there
the
is.
front
And
line.
Oh, yeah.
I just, you catch it when you can. And I started to, what do you call it? Just kind of rent him out, but I just didn't have the time nor the energy. But there was the legs back in the back under the tree or the weeds there, and down there.
And then
So I
the
just thought
ear,
I'd leave it.
you've got the ear together. You got two ears together there.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I noticed. And then it looks like she's got three eyes. Two on
Yeah.
one side and one
Yeah.
on the other.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Well, that's.
So
Yeah,
that's
a
a
little less
Picasso.
noticeable here.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
noticeable
all.
there.
Mm,
That's a Picasso effect.
yeah. Yes, very much so. I think just I've just seen so many of them. I just know how they're put together.
Yeah.
That ear, the first thing I looked at was the ear. The ear wasn't right, and then I had to look to figure out what composed
happened?
that ear. What was it? A deformed ear? No, it was two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay, so on to the next.
Ooh.
Okay, this is over at do you know, near Payson, it's what they call Tonto Bridge.
Oh.
And it's about 10 miles outside of Payson
Mhm.
on the highway there. I can't remember which one it is, but to show you the scale of this, if you look down in the middle of the hole, you
Yep.
see two guys right there,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
wow.
way down.
Holy cow.
So it's really a huge, huge bridge. And so they call it Tonto National Bridge. It's a national park. So, but that's just kind of like taken as is, and not much done to it.
Hmm.
But it's just, I was just kind of more of a show and tell. That's kind of an interesting place. If
Yeah.
anybody goes out that way, because I've got some other shots from the Mogollon Rim. If anybody is going out that way, you can use the entryway, so to speak, to the Mogollon Rim is Payson.
Ah, okay. This almost has details like a cave.
Yeah, it really does.
Oh,
Yeah. Interesting. Nice.
Yeah, so this was just a bluebird, and I put a little bit of I guess you would call it a texture on him, and looks kind of interesting. I tried to frame it with the blue, of course.
Texture. There you go.
Yeah, there's the kind of like close up of it. Yeah, so I put a texture on the bird, and then just kind of let it kind of from topaz. That was I'm not sure what it's. I used a topaz texture, but I don't know which one.
Very nice.
Nice.
Well, it was kind of like otherwise a boring kind of shot, just of a bird, and this kind of like livened it up a bit.
Definitely.
I think that's the challenge that most of us have, is to take an ordinary shot and then give it life, you know,
Mhm.
give
Yes.
unusual texture, and I think that's the challenge, is where, you know, how much, when you know, like to know when to hold them and know when to hold them.
Boy, you said that well.
Okay, Kenny.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, you want to invite the viewer to have something interesting to see, so they stop and look.
Yeah.
And you did that.
Well, it's really the art within the image, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
or something like that. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, so this was back in the canyon of the Mogollon Rim, and down at the bottom is the Tonto Creek. And so this was just an interesting shot that
Mhm.
kind of, I did several painterly looks to that, but ended up just showing this one because it was just fine the way it was, I think.
Mhm. Nice reflections.
So how recent was this?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. So the colors are still out. Huh?
Yeah, it was at the tail end of the colors. There's a lot of pine up there, so you don't get a massive amount of color, but it's just kind of blended in some of the color, and then with the green too.
Nice. That was one of the interesting things we found traveling in Italy, was the fall colors, because you never see them here. And that was really nice. It was kind of a nice bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, this is again a shot probably at 2 in the afternoon without any sky was just ordinary, and I did a replacement with luminar sky and then toned down the rest, and so it gave a interesting picture from a very blah picture.
You really got the rim light on the cactus too.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You would have thought you took that at sunrise or sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out nice. One suggestion is to just get a real faint blur brush and just come in and kind of hit some of these areas that are a little hard here.
Uh-huh.
You know, like maybe 10 or 20%. Just kind of mush them up just enough to make them feel a little more believable.
Okay.
But
All right. You
because
know,
it starts receding and then it gets really sharp here. So
uh-huh.
yeah, it's the only thing I think my eye keeps wondering what's going on there.
Right.
Nice.
But yeah, trying to again, the challenge was, you would like to have ideal lighting conditions, and you'd like to have that
Oh yeah.
magic hour, as they call it, and all that. And just not always possible when you're traveling. You just kind of, you get what you get.
Yeah.
The last 3 weeks of our trip was mostly overcast, cold, and rainy. So I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of sky replacement myself.
Mm.
Yeah,
And warming filter or
yeah, that too.
white balance.
Yeah.
Luminar's got a nice warming filter on it, and
And it
it's,
also picks up when you replace the sky, it does throw a cast that you can control on your foreground too.
yes, it sure does.
Yeah, which is nice. Okay. Curious to see what this new Nero is going to do, but we'll see what happens when that comes out. All righty. Well, thanks for bringing those in, Jim. Okay, Maureen, get yours up.
Oh.
This is one I've been working on for some time now, and I should have clocked my time on this. It's ridiculous. But this is the one that I showed last time I came in, and Alan, you suggested to do some fog on it, so I did. So go to the next one.
Well, before we move on, there's one giveaway. You should flop these guys and ghost them in as reflections, and that would give it a little more believability.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I had done that actually, but I think I have faded them out because I did.
Yeah, I can kind of see a hint of it here.
I did put now, and I did the other guy as well. So I probably just need to
tweak it back a little.
bring it back from the mask a little bit.
Yeah,
I will do that. Thank you.
sure.
Here's the fog.
Oh,
And I think I like the fog. I think it tones down some of those. I didn't realize how bright those yellows and blues were.
Mhm.
It makes the truck look a little bit more old and antique and aged. And I think it kind of helps blend the water with the drummer on the moon and the guys in the bus. But what do you guys think?
gives it a much more mysterious look, I think, to me.
I would continue these patterns selectively over the tire. You could take them in another layer and just lightly airbrush them in.
Yeah,
And
say that again. I I'm not
These,
understanding.
these wisps that are coming through
Mhm.
here, just kind of pull them over the tire a little more.
Oh, okay,
Try different blend modes to see how they work.
okay.
And then maybe I would gradiate this down a little bit here, so it goes a little darker up here and then works its way up here. So your point is right here
Yeah.
of view. It's
Yeah,
naturally doing it
there's
down
two
here.
gradients. There's a gradient on the bottom and there's a gradient on the top.
Yeah, I'd probably make the top one a little more. The bottom one's working, but the top one I think is just too
Yeah.
light and a little too busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if you took that top one off completely so you just get the mist around the water?
I can because they're on separate layers.
Yeah, or maybe
They're
you
on
can,
separate
maybe you can
layers.
even think about cropping it too. I don't know. Something like that.
I think that I do like my trees in the back.
Yeah, okay. Well, then I would probably
I
just.
think they kind of balance the bus out a little bit,
Mhm. Okay.
break it up.
Yeah, I would probably just gradiate it down then.
Okay.
Yeah. that's just-
They're on separate, those two, there's two different, I found a great tutorial that this guy did on how to do the fog in the background and then how to do the mist on the water together. And
Oh, yeah,
it's
if
a
you-
lot of steps,
yeah,
but they're on separate layers.
yeah.
So I can move them around.
Oh, cool. Well, send me the links. I'll pass them on to the group.
Okay, yeah, it's got a lot of steps to it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I shy away from stuff like that, but I thought the overall effect was
Oh, I like it. I think
was
it's-
pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
really
once you
is.
get into it, and I looked into making, like Ellen, you suggested making a fog brush.
Mhm.
But I think that's a little harder to control. This seemed to be smooth, like it doesn't look like somebody painted it in.
Right.
And yeah, I think the guy's done a really good job.
I like it.
So thanks, guys, for your help on this one. I know you're probably tired of seeing it, but I do appreciate your help.
Oh,
Oh, and this is from the Empire Ranch. And she was one of the Chara riders. And the background was real busy. There were people in stands and there was a building back there. And so I masked her out. And then I blurred the background. And then I did a whole bunch of other stuff. I actually kept a lot of the foreground in the masks because I think shadowing is important when you mask. And a lot of times if you mask something out, you don't mask the shadow with it. And then it looks too artificial in my mind. And so I left a lot of the foreground in on the original masks. And then I took it into Topaz and I used one of the filters under Abstract.
Yeah,
And I think I forget, it begins with an I. And it really was like a big blur. And so then I pulled it back to about 40% and got this. But above her head, that blue was almost white. So then I did a couple of layers and you can actually paint on a layer. And it's a nice effect if you change the mode to color.
Mhm.
So I put some blue up at the top and then I went and put some red in various places. And then I put a little bit of blue down behind her. I think that was a tent, like a vendor tent or something in there. And so I try to kind of soften that a little bit and just kind of played around with it. But overall, I think it came out really nice. It has good energy and
yeah.
she had such a great expression on her
I think
face.
it's excellent. I really like it.
Yes.
Thank you. And I
Yeah,
like
it's got a lot of action.
I like the placement of the horse's legs. I mean, I took a lot of
Mhm.
photographs, but this horse and this rider were not as well paired as the other two. And so in many of the photographs, you could tell he was not liking what she was doing. That horrible look on his face, you know, and so, like, ah. So on this one, his mouth was closed. He looked like he was actually enjoying himself in this picture.
He almost looks like he's dancing.
Well, he
Yeah.
was. They're
Yeah.
dancing horses, but this
Yeah.
really shows the dancing. Yeah,
Yes.
the feet in motion, the
Yeah.
leg in
Nice.
motion. So
And I think that little yellow flower above her head there really snaps the whole image. It just
it pulls you right to her face.
really does.
Yeah.
And of course, she was all made up with her face for the Day of the Dead, and kind of a bizarre combination of this beautiful, you know, Andalusian horse with this scary rider.
Really nice.
Real nice.
Go to the next one.
Yeah, it was a keeper.
This one, I did the same thing, but I didn't blur the background because the background was pretty blurred to begin with. So I just left it as it was. I didn't do hardly any work on this. I just ran it into Topaz. I used the same filter. I did paint over a little bit, like behind her head, that kind of ribbon. I added that. I added a little more of the red and pink to her head and face. And then I punched up some of the green from her dress into the background behind her head there, just to kind of pull a little bit of that green over. But she had kind of a real, interesting expression, like she was really thinking about something.
Yeah.
And very serious about holding the reins on that horse. She wasn't just a prop there. She had the horse, which was kind of.
I'm kind of impressed by the, I guess it's the horn on the saddle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's all silver.
But you could almost make a study of the saddles that they have in these things. So.
Yeah, I have one that I did in Timacockery years ago, and I've sold that quite a few times. And the handler, the horse handler, was driving the horse, so he wasn't in the saddle. So I could get a nice picture of the horse sideways with the saddle, because normally you have a person there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I imagine these saddles have stories behind them that are pretty interesting.
Probably heirlooms.
And the owners of the saddles probably go right along with those stories. So
Yeah, and I can imagine what it cost. The other rider, she had a similar saddle, but it didn't have the silver on it. It was just,
yeah,
I guess, bone or wood or whatever. So I imagine you get a saddle, and then as you can afford it, you add the silver.
Yeah.
You want to go to the next one?
Sure.
And this was a cattle dog at that ranch show, and I just like that he was so intense. His eyes are almost bugging out of his head to go get that. Only thing I did on this is I put a vignette on it, I cropped it, and I did the focus blur in Topaz because I just really wanted him to stand out from the crowd, from the cattle that he was moving.
Nice.
yeah, I like the movement.
Yeah, he's flying. The cows are just
Yeah.
poking along.
Well, the one cow here in back, it almost looks like she's giving him the side eye.
She
No.
probably was.
Like, oh no, not again. You know?
How many times a day do we have to do this?
Yes.
They're on twice. They were on twice that day.
What would it look like if you cropped part of the top off though?
I took a ton off already, but I could take more because I had sky and mountains back there, and I cropped it down to cut out the sky and the mountain. I think it would probably bring a little more focus to the dog if I
Yeah,
took more off the
maybe
top.
somewhere like that.
Mhm.
I think there, yeah, about like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. A little more balanced.
Yeah.
Little more balanced.
Well, while we're looking at this, I am actually watching a Cooper's hawk bathing in my pond here.
This was out my window the other morning. This is a Cooper's hawk, and I decided to take him into Topaz and electrify him.
Yeah, definitely.
That is a wild eye he's got there. though.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't do anything to that. That was his eye.
That's cool. Yeah.
Very nice.
That's it.
Nice job. Okay, well, thanks for bringing those in.
You're welcome.
Well, now he's out there fluffing up and drying off.
Mhm.
You go and take a photo.
Yeah, I probably should.
Go and do it.
Yeah, he'll be back. They come 2-3 times a day. They're pretty regular here. There's 2 of them that like to visit. Sometimes there's a 3rd one, but I haven't seen that one in a while. It's a little smaller. Okay, Steve.
And so this was just a window display. It's taken at night. Glass flowers. Pulled it into Topaz and used I think it was the yellow intensity preset on it, which broke up the background into that mosaic of patterns you see there.
It's neat.
Interesting.
And kind of toned down the colors too, because the 2 flowers on either side were bright red, as was the one in the middle, but it's kind of pulled it down to an orange.
Mhm. And let the yellows kind of come forward.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
And what did you say it was?
I think it's yellow intensity.
Oh,
Nice.
I just like the arrangement.
mhm.
Yeah,
It's symmetrical, unsymmetrical.
exactly.
Symmetrically unsymmetrical.
Yes.
And I like the little highlights, like I guess it's reflections of light bulbs or something.
Yes. I'm sure it was street lamps, Wendell, because this was, like I said, it was a shop window at night, so there wasn't any internal illumination, possibly some in the back, way in the back, but not very much.
this one of your Savannah windows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very
that
good.
was liquid sands, I think it was.
Mhm.
You can pop to the next one if you want to, Sandy.
Hmm.
And this is just a mesquite taken from down below, looking up into the sun,
Mhm.
and then pushed into black and white. So I like the patterning, and really I'm kind of enthralled with mesquites anyway, but for such a rough tree, they have such a delicate limb and leaf structure.
Mhm.
Very nice.
Nice.
Just think of this light corner.
Yeah, we could pull that down.
Yeah.
I'd put a small vignette on it or something to pull it.
I like the negative space on this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You got the really busy leaves and then the nice restful negative space to go to.
Nice.
My first impression was you had it upside down.
no,
Oh,
I'm standing pretty much,
Yeah,
I don't want to
I
say against
know,
the trunk, but.
but
yeah,
that was my first impression.
That
Yeah,
was mine. That was mine too.
Yeah.
There you
oh
go.
yeah. But it's not as interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't think so either because I tried flipping it before, so I left it where it was.
I kind of like it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Kind of reminds you of those lazy days where you'd be laying on the ground looking up at the tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
You can pop to the next one if you want to. The other,
It's there.
or if you want to go to that one, that's fine too.
Oh, I missed one. Missed a few.
a couple in there.
Yeah, we'll get up there.
So
Yeah.
that's just an orchid, which was mirrored, split
Ah.
and mirrored.
Oh.
Very
okay.
nice. Nice work. Boy, you really can't see where you
Right down the
adjusted
middle.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the only thing gives away is that teeny little thing right there.
Yeah.
You
I
never
noticed that, but
know.
I was gonna leave it in.
Yeah, I would
Really cool.
never
Yeah.
know if you didn't mention it. This icon's so strong, I just naturally.
So if you
digress.
if you sent that into some orchid person, they would probably have a heart attack.
Probably.
Hey, look at this new orchid that I created.
That's right.
Yeah.
A new one.
And
Look what I've grown.
I think I took this into Topaz Sharpen AI.
Mhm.
Used the sharpening on it afterwards. And that's really about it, except for actually extracting it and, pulling the background down to black.
Right.
So,
That's really nice, Steve.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Good texture on the petals.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Striking.
thank you.
Yep, nice job. Okay. See what we
That's
missed.
a keeper.
Oh, pretty.
And this is not a total construct. This is actually a garden with a gazebo. I did take a few things out, like signs that told you what plants
Oh.
looking at, but the sky was kind of nondescript, so I pulled it into Luminar and gave it a new sky plus sun rays coming in over the top of the gazebo. In Lightroom, I used the brush mask to pull the intensity of this grass on the right down a bit, because it was verging on almost white in some places.
Mm.
And then took it into Photoshop and put the oil paint filter on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I was channeling Kincaid at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Now that goes just something I read. I think it was on a Facebook post about how to make Thomas Kincaid painting palatable, and they showed somebody had pushed a picture of Godzilla into a Thomas Kincaid picture and said that was the only way to make that painting palatable. So I wanted to channel Kincaid here to see if it was possible.
Very nice.
Very nice.
You might laugh all you want about Thomas Kincaid, but he's richer than all of us, or he was.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's okay, but I was just having a little fun with it, so. And this is San Javier,
Cool.
and I just like the symmetry.
Yeah.
And this was pushed into black and white, I think, and I used probably the flat preset on this one to give it kind of a timely effect. So
I'm assuming they would be highly colorful images there on the wall.
yes, they are. I mean, they're all colored tile, but I kind of liked knocking them down into black and white.
Mhm.
And it brings out the texture on the mesquite a bit more.
Mhm.
Now my screen is looking a little toward green. I wonder if you shifted it more toward a warm tone, if it would lend itself a little better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I like that idea.
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy to do.
Yep.
Okay. Great. Keep it up. Thanks. All righty. Wendell, you're up.
Okay. Well, this is a series of things from a trip a couple of years ago to Silver City, New Mexico, and the little town nearby, Pinos Altos. And this one is an old saloon in Pinos Altos. which is almost a ghost town. But anyway, I've done this before in the black and white with a sepia tone or an antique tone that worked out pretty well, but I hadn't really done a color. So this I took into Photoshop to straighten up the perspective a little and took out an electrical wire across the upper left corner and then put it into Topaz, the artistic group, the M1 Impressionist, which gave it that kind of like paint swipes, paintbrush strokes on it.
Very nice.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I like it.
I
Now,
replaced
Sam-
this copy. Go ahead.
No. Oh, Sandy, you were mentioning Luminar Neo that's coming out.
Right.
They have an automatic, I should say, wire removal. Uh,
Got it. Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, well, it
I've,
works.
I've seen some of the examples that they've run, and if it works the way they say it works, it's going to be an incredible little piece of AI they've got working there. So
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I've seen little iPhone apps that do it. And, they're
yeah,
okay.
now this one, it leaves the telephone pole, but it removes a lot of wires running to and from it. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know that there had been wires there to begin with. So
Wow.
Very cool.
This had sky replacement too out of
yeah,
Photoshop.
Nice.
no, it's a beautiful, beautiful picture, Wendell.
Yeah.
Make a canvas print out of that or something,
Yeah, yeah.
or matte paper with like a watercolor paper.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be nice too.
Yeah, we ought to have a contest. Contest of all the,
Or
for all the painterly looks, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. This is also in Pinos Altos, just an old, looked like a corner market or something, but I like the green and the paint, painted flowers and the pattern of that X on the, I guess it's bracing for the screen door.
yep.
yeah. I think the screen's muted the color down.
Mhm.
More
Yeah.
depth
Mhm.
and the little tear down here. Nice. You can
Pinos
see the
Altos.
Adobe work.
So where's this, where is it on the way to though? Pinos Altos?
Well, it's, you go east to Silver City, New Mexico, and then north out of Silver City. Oh, I don't know, it's,
Oh, it's
maybe-
north of Silver City.
yeah, maybe 5 miles, 6 miles, something like that seemed like.
Oh, okay.
Is it on the way up to those cliff dwellings?
It,
That's a different road, I think.
yeah, I think the cliff dwellings are a little to the east of this.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I missed that.
Yeah, it's a little place. There's a church and there's a house that's got a motor home that's been backed up next to the house, and they built a lean-to that kind of wrapped around the motor home, created an extra room, I guess. But anyway, it's kind of a funky little place.
Yeah, cool.
So anyway, that's about all on this one. That just the colors and the flowers that I liked.
Yeah, it's got a
Oh,
nice
that's cool. Very nice.
feel to it.
This one is actually a door in Silver City itself.
Mhm.
I think it was a gallery because the little sign right in the middle of the door says art on it.
Mhm.
But I just like the pattern of these different colors, and I did use it in Photoshop to straighten it and skew it around a little bit and crop it in. And then Topaz artistic line and ink effect is what I used on that took away some of the little detail stuff and just made the colors look more like a painting. And so it's just about the color of the panels on the doors. What I liked about it. So looked like one of these modern paintings. Was it somebody named
Yeah,
Mondrian?
I was just gonna say that. I was trying to remember the name of the artist that did the black with the different primary colors on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what probably the person that owned this shop had that in mind when they did it.
yeah, no doubt.
We could check the next one. It's also a shop there in Silver City. Yeah. I believe it's a bookshop. And you can see the books in the background
Mhm.
and the fact that they got the book on the sign. This is kind of like some of Steve's from Savannah, little shops and signs.
Yeah. If you get some time, I'd be curious to see how well Photoshop does on select subject on this particular one.
Well, actually, I did essentially did that on the sign, and I made it a little sharper, increased the contrast so it would stand out from the back a little bit in
Yeah, I
the
was
background.
how it would handle the chain.
Yeah, I think what I did is I just put the box right around the oval of the sign itself, and
Right? Just, yeah,
it might have affected the chain, but it doesn't look like it
no,
changed much.
yeah.
But
Wonder if
anyway,
maybe darkening the shop itself up a bit might give you a little more
yeah, that
here.
I did a little like that gold book. I toned it down a little bit.
Yeah. I guess the culprit's this one right here. These two.
Oh yeah. That probably should be maybe made more like the area inside that
Mhm. Yeah,
darker tan. Yeah.
that would be enough.
Now, what's on the back of that sign window?
I don't know. They
mean-
were closed.
Open?
I mean, I've got a sign that says shut and the book is closed. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm wondering if
Oh.
on the other side it says open and the book is open.
Yeah. Well, we were there on a Sunday, so they were closed, so I couldn't get inside to see what's there. Maybe I'll have to go back on a weekday.
It might just say up on the other side.
Yeah.
That's always possible.
Yeah, but I would vote for Steve's explanation of the open book.
Yeah, that probably makes more sense.
Yeah. So, okay, well, now you can go on to the weird one, which I couldn't come up with my own, so I borrowed someone else's. This is just a Photoshop. Mostly what I did is I spent a little bit of time taking about 3 strands of barbed wire off of these posts there.
Did a good job.
Yeah.
Like the chair.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen things
Like
almost
little
as strange.
reminders, so we knew you did the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to figure out how to take the post out, but I
Yeah.
couldn't get anything that looked very good, so I gave up on that.
Well, I think if you take it to Luminar and try this window, if you do it in steps,
Yeah.
say with the top of the post down to the fender,
Yeah.
and then say erase it.
Uh-huh.
And then from the top of the fender down to the top of the wheel and say erase it.
Right.
It will do it in a way that if you tried to take the whole post out at one time, it would be a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that, now I don't have Luminar, but I think Photoshop's got something like that. I just,
That Band-Aid thing.
Did-
whatever it's called.
yeah. But I don't know how to work around all the white walls there. I tried that.
Easy to clone in. Yeah, this stuff would be easy to clone in.
Yeah, I did.
Center of the wheel would be a little bit of work.
Yeah, that's where I stopped. I did get the bottom white wall using the clone tool, but or actually I selected and copied and pasted so I could tilt the white wall streak. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's maybe my project for next week.
That'll keep you busy
Yeah.
for a few days.
I don't know whether I like the classic convertible or runs great. That
Yeah, and it
What's this saying?
needs a battery.
Yeah, it needs
yeah, needs a
battery.
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 Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
spelling.
Yeah,
I couldn't
Well, I-
figure out what that was either.
yeah. Well, I think the part I like the best is the chair in there as the seat.
Steering wheel.
So that reminds me of a story I heard, Wendell, about three guys that went bear hunting in New York and New York State, and they shot the bear. They shot a bear. They thought it was dead. They didn't have any place to actually put it except the back seat of the car. So they stuffed it in the back, and one guy was back there with it. The other two guys were in the front. The bear was not dead. It was just knocked out pretty severely,
Oh.
but it came to in the car. And they bailed out of the car, but because they were so panicked, they left all their guns in the car. And so they were outside, and the bear totally destroyed the inside of the car.
Oh my gosh.
Well, long story short, they had to go down to a country, store and get orange crates to drive home.
Yeah. I like,
Yeah.
This might have been the same car. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah,
That's kind of like one of those commercials, what is it, from State Farm or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
oh,
Or
yeah,
the Chaos or whatever the guy's
Yeah.
name is.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, well,
We've seen
Yeah.
it here too.
yeah, you're right. Yeah. Anyway, this,
That's
was-
a nice picture. I like it a lot.
yeah, I started to put a title on a deal of the week,
Yeah.
but I took it off.
Of the
Green-
century.
yeah. Green Valley Special. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
buy a car online.
yeah. Well, if you want to buy this one, it might still be at Pinos Altos.
Yes.
Well,
I like-
I was thinking as I was looking at it, looking at those blades on the back, it needs wings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
not sure what it would look like flying, but
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I like the difference in the tires too. When
Yeah.
the back end is like this, those are
Oh,
kind
we
of beefy, expensive
Like-
tires.
like tires.
Yeah, yeah. And no idea what kind of car it was. And it looks like it does have an engine of some sort in it.
What about the piece of wood under the chairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, holding the
Yeah.
frame up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly doesn't have a drivetrain.
Oh,
Or front wheel drive.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
that car might well be multiple brands.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it is probably.
That rear end doesn't look like it goes with the front end.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of Bettina matches.
Yeah. Tina does. And it convertible.
Yeah, I like your viewpoint here, Wendell. I do. Good
Oh.
shot.
Yeah.
oh, I replaced the sky too. So that was the easiest part of it.
Yeah, but
That's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, that wrapped up my week.
that's fun. Well, I just kind of diving into my Italy stuff and
Oh, waiting to see that.
pull up a few. I did some basic cleaning up on these and still got a bunch to go. But, this one actually is in San Marcos, which is its own little country.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Did you climb up there?
No, we took the funicular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is, like a little ski lift.
Mhm.
And,
Wow.
Oh,
Did you
Yeah.
replace the sky or was that?
no, I
sky?
did not.
Great
It was a really yuck day, and I just took it in Illuminar and brought some golden highlights in and punched some things up, and this was all really back in the haze, and I just kind of pulled it out.
hmm. Hmm.
It was actually worse than this area here.
Hmm.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well.
So is
Very
that
nice.
the kind of monastery on the top there?
What's that?
Is that the kind of monastery on the top?
No, it's a castle. Actually, this particular country was well fortified. There's 3 different fortification castles there that were set up for defense. It was never conquered by anybody. Probably because of the height and the fact that they obviously had the upper ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Is this in the north or where is it?
Yeah, it's in northern Italy and toward the east coast.
The east. Okay.
Yeah, toward the east. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is just one shot from Portofino, right on the
Hmm.
turn there.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the reflections in the water are outstanding. The colors, wow.
yeah, I was almost thinking of just taking a crop of the reflections.
Mm, gorgeous.
It's one of
Yeah.
That's
the nicer
right.
days because the week before and the following days were kind of funky. So it was kind of nice hitting a sunny day there.
Yeah. Yeah. To bring out the colors of the buildings.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm, nice.
Were you on the water when you took this?
No, I just got down. There's like a little walk, and I just got down on my knees and put the camera down almost at water level. So
Mm,
yeah,
it just feels like the camera was in the water.
yeah.
Good
Yeah.
job.
I'm realizing it's getting harder to get down and get up than it used to be. I used to do that
Yeah,
constantly.
tell me
I
about it.
noticed that,
Now
huh?
I get very selective about when I get down to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
thanks. And this is up in the Dolomites.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's dramatic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they're really, really jaggy.
Wow.
That's what impressed me about them. They're really rough mountains.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then around them is just lush green. I'll bring some of those in another time. But I like the warm and cool thing that was going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's amazing blue. Yeah.
yeah, great.
Yeah, this is one of the little hill
Oh.
towns. I'm not quite sure which one. I like catching some of the old Vespas.
Mhm.
Look at the background. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was talking to somebody from India, Sandy,
Mhm.
and these are like, these Vespas are like their main form of transportation. But over there, you put in an order for one, and then you may wait 8 to 10 years before that
Oh,
order is filled.
Oh, wow.
Because there's so many people in India that want them. I guess Vespa can't keep up with the production schedules for it.
Yeah. Well,
But,
the new ones are
uh,
pretty nice and they keep them kind of classic looking, but
yeah,
there's an amazing amount of bikes there, scooter bikes. Unbelievable.
I think they should institute that here in Green Valley.
Got a few of them.
Death rate would probably go up, not only from just the people driving, but the people that don't see them and run into them.
Yeah, then everybody could ride around saying "chow," and it would
Yeah.
be. You know,
There you go. Una bella Vespa.
yeah.
I was questioning who decided to run the L Tour in Green Valley.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people can't even drive in parking lots, and now they're putting bicycles.
They did a pretty good job of keeping them off the street because we tried getting
Yeah.
out of Continental and it was a mess.
Well,
I-
Marie,
I-
did you read about the lady that ran into the hotel up at Esperanza, and I think it was La Canada.
Uh,
No.
And she hit the wall so hard that she knocked an air conditioning unit across the room, 20
Oh
feet across the room
God.
inside.
Oh my God.
Is anybody hurt?
I was warned when I moved here, but
Yeah.
I used to live in Oro Valley, and the tour went right down Moore Road, which was about a quarter of a mile from my house. And so I just stayed home when
Yeah.
I just did not leave
Yeah.
the house for the day. I just planned
Yeah.
on not leaving. And then now it's not there, it's here.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I
Well,
don't have
your
to worry
fault
about
it
El
followed you
Tour.
home.
Yeah.
It followed me here, and I don't know how that happened.
Sandy, I love this picture. I do.
Oh, thanks,
That's really
I mean, the composition's beautiful, the color palette's beautiful.
thanks.
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah.
Yep. It's a feel of Italy.
Is that something you could sell on Shutterstock?
Yeah, maybe. I tend to go more, macular, macro with things rather than panorama. I do shoot the panorama stuff like the
Mhm.
ones in the beginning you saw, but I favor these. I really like them. They're more of a slice of life and you get more of the essence.
That
Now,
has
is
a
this
lot
one-
of like advertising.
Yeah, little grocery store?
Yeah, actually it was a little sandwich shop.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
all right.
Panini.
Panini,
Paninis.
Yep.
Teeny.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, thanks.
Ooh,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
A little hill town.
wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one. I got to get my keywords in.
Great to have the people, because it gives you such a sense of size and perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And life.
Yeah, I tend
Yeah.
to usually try and shoot them blank, but every once in a while I'll see some people in them that make sense. I like the silhouettes in
Mhm.
there. Yeah.
That's
I like the window up here,
open.
propped open, yes,
Oh, this one, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like
And the
this
stairwells, yeah.
Stairs,
Oh,
stairs.
I don't ever want to see stairs again, let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end, it was like, not another stairway, not another, door,
Yeah.
not another museum.
Yeah, I'd love to move there except for the stairs, yeah.
Yeah, it's.
That's great.
But I guess if you're not in a hurry, I guess it doesn't really make a lot of difference. You can just take it a few stairs at a time. And
Exactly, that's the way we handle it.
The touring club.
Mhm.
yeah.
I really like the aging on the buildings too.
Yeah.
The rust.
I like the old guy in the doorway that you can see at the counter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's wearing his mask. You
He's
can't
wearing a
go anywhere
mask.
without Having a mask.
Yes.
Outdoors. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow, that's great.
no, thank you.
So different.
Yes.
And there's
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
These are amazing.
Yes.
guess they're into Red Sox.
Yeah.
Great symmetry, though. Great composition. Yeah.
Thanks.
It'd be cool if you had a pair of underwear there that had the trap door in the back. That'd be
It
perfect.
wasn't cold enough yet. It was.
Yeah.
Those are kind of-
Oh, Photoshop.
They're on the way out.
Yes.
Great windows.
And we ended up having lunch here. This was,
Oh, This is really
Yeah.
nice.
yeah,
Yes.
just kind of a slice of life lunch
Mm.
hour at the Uncafe.
So you were allowed to go maskless outside.
Yes, after you ordered,
Yes.
when your food came, but you had to sit there with your mask on until you ordered. Yeah. I don't know. You guys think this window's too bright?
No,
That's a reflection, right?
Most of- yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, just a thought.
I think my eyes went to the door.
Yeah,
I
you've
thought-
got
I
that
thought it would kind
gridding
of
on
carry
it.
things with all the
Yeah.
other lights, but
Yeah.
maybe I'd tone it down a little bit. The top was really bright, so I toned that down, but yeah. Okay. I also like how they did the double signs and they're backwards from one.
Yeah.
It was quite common on the hotels. Say hotel and then it would be backwards on one direction.
Yeah.
This was the last hill town we were in. We were in Milan and we were just kind of running out of things to do. And we decided to go up to Bergamo, which is northeast of there.
One of the
What's-
old buildings, the
What's the
architecture.
character? Eh? Character just oozes.
Yeah, everything just oozes of age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you said this is in Milan or north of Milan?
Northeast of Milan, there's a hill town called Bergamo. And there's like the new city down below, and then, up in the top of the hill is the old town with the wall.
We might have the opportunity to go there next year. We'll see.
Well, let me know. I'll make some suggestions for you.
Yeah.
You can see this thing's been sitting a while. The cards are all curling.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Kind of fun.
Awesome.
And another door, just like
Yeah.
the crustiness of this one.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah,
I
that's-
did a series of I shot a lot of doors and door knockers and windows. I'm gonna put together a series of those. I did include one of the door knockers in the end here, but yeah, the just the walls and the textures and everybody had flowers everywhere, potted plants and
Nice.
things. It's kind of fun.
Excellent.
This one had,
The boar's head outside.
yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh,
Little boar's head. Yeah, they had wild boar meat. It was quite delicacy there.
oh,
And this was, I'm standing on a roadway that's probably about a 30-degree angle. And this is just hanging on the
oh,
edge of it. Just a little place to hang out.
yeah.
Is it
I
part
would
of a
fall.
restaurant?
Yeah.
Is it part of a restaurant or a home?
I think it's part of an Airbnb, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little place to sit out.
Now, if you're saying this is tilted at 30 degrees,
Yeah, the road I'm standing on is probably 25, 30-degree incline.
Yeah. But the sidewalk
This
is built
part's-
level. and
Yeah,
better.
that's quite straight, but the sidewalk cuts on an angle about like that. Actually, it's a street, but it's about as wide as the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Cars going up it.
is the sidewalk slanted too?
Oh, yeah. Everything's, well, this particular walk was flat, this
Okay.
part, the landing was flat, but, the
I'd fall
sidewalk-
right the hell off that stool then. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this part was straight, but the road going up there was
okay.
very slanted. And this was the farm we stayed at outside of Milan. And the night we came home, it was really foggy. That's Pam carrying the groceries.
Oh,
Yeah. And we stayed back over in here. It was nice to be, secure because we kept reading stories about people getting their vans broken into and everything stolen, or even the whole van stolen. So
Oh my gosh.
find a secure section. So it was about a 30-minute tram ride from the Duomo in the main square. So it wasn't too bad. It's about a 10-minute walk from the tram. So
That's nice. I like it.
Neat.
and this guy
Oh,
was
Oh.
perfect. He was outside the Euphrates, just painting away. And I approached him and he just kept painting. He's, he knew I was shooting him, but he just didn't want to look up. He just kept painting.
Very nice.
That's a classic, yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Great nose.
Yeah,
Love the nose.
the cap really works well for him.
It's great.
Yeah.
Now, was he painting something that he could see? Was he?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of a contemporary Christ figure, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, you can kind of see the cross there.
Oh, yeah.
Was it in front of him or was he painting from memory?
No, he was just painting from memory. He
Okay.
didn't even have reference.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's a little preview of some of the doorknobs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Get teeth and everything.
Yeah, they're amazing variety there. So I'll start sprinkling those in as the weeks go.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then, of course, I had to sneak a shot of the Sistine Chapel ceiling in while we were there.
boy, that-
Supposed to
Kept
do
going.
that.
No talking, no photos.
oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I just kind of pointed my camera up.
mhm.
It was a little bit of an angle, but I straightened it up a bit and I lost.
Oh my God. I think I see somebody right down at the bottom, Sandy. He's mooning everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Was that Michelangelo that did that?
probably.
It said, "Here, Pope, this is what I think of the whole deal." Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. And of course, that's the main focal point that gets her.
Yeah.
people
Yes.
out of it.
Well, why don't they want you taking pictures in there? I mean, the
I have no
chapel,
clue.
the
Yeah.
chapel ceiling's so far away that no
I
matter
know.
what kind of flash you used,
Yeah,
it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Was it packed when you were in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought maybe with COVID it wouldn't be as bad.
They herd you in and out like cattle.
I
and-
know. Our tour guide said if we talked, he could get fired and not be able to
Oh,
be a
Yeah,
tour
yeah,
guide.
yeah, they're real crazy. The last time I was there was about 65 and it was all scaffolded and there were places they were plastering and
Mhm.
everything was really dull. So it looks pretty nice considering,
Yeah.
what it looked like the last time I saw it.
Hmm.
So that's what I got this week.